Now, we can go and solve problems that were extraordinarily difficult to solve before. And one of my great examples of this is somebody asked my wife the other day, like, why would you use, generative AI for meal planning? Like, what on earth could it possibly do for you that a cookbook can't, or a meal plan that you go and find on the internet can't? And I'll tell you what, for years, I've had great ideas for meal plans where I come up with some grand thing that I'm gonna, go and cook during the week, all these things I'm gonna cook all these days. And then on Wednesday or Thursday, when I'm exhausted and I get home, all of it falls apart because I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, and I solve the problem in a suboptimal way often, which is I go and order takeout from a restaurant. It's more expensive, it's not as healthy for me. What if I could solve it a different way? The real problem is I need to adapt my meal plan to my schedule and my energy levels. So let's solve that problem with generative AI. So how do we solve it? Well, I grabbed a screenshot of my calendar, which I did here, and I gave it, and I said, here's a picture of my schedule for the week. Plan easy meals on hard days. Plan fun variety meals on days where things are less intense. And I give it some more information, and it goes off, and it starts planning meals for me based on my calendar. Now notice something. I didn't have to go and build an integration with my calendar. I just had to think differently about how do I create this conversation and how do I get the information that I need into the conversation. And the simplest way to do it is I just grabbed a screenshot of my calendar, and that's good enough. And I dumped it in and I said, now plan my meals. And if I get to Thursday and something's changed, I can simply go in and say, hey, I'm exhausted, or I forgot to buy certain ingredients, or this is all I have left. And on the fly, it can adapt my meal plan. No cookbook, no website, no nothing can go and do that. And that's where generative AI really shines, is finding these things were fundamentally impossible. Now, if I'd had a personal chef, yeah, I could have come home and been like, I'm tired. I don't want to cook, you cook. And yeah, I could have solved the problem that way if I had the time and money to go and find and hire a personal chef to work for me. But most of us aren't, and most of our business problems don't look like that. Most of our organizational problems, we don't have unlimited resources. We have to be creative in how we solve the problem. And generative AI gives us fundamentally new capacity. It's incredibly flexible if we can think about how do we craft a conversation and get the right information into the conversation in order to solve the problem. In this case, all I had to do was get a screenshot of my calendar into the conversation. I didn't have to have some elaborate, data entry system or pull from my calendar with all of this authentication or other stuff. It's great if you've got that, but for a lot of problems, we can get there and solve it really fast simply by thinking about how do we craft the right context for this conversation. In this case, a screenshot of my calendar, a set of goals that I'm trying to achieve, the types of things I want to eat or not. I could have a document with preferences, and suddenly the generative AI can go and begin solving that problem.